Welcome back once again. Here you can see me getting the dogs together. We are actually heading out on this trip back to one of our favorite destinations, which is Mama Gertie's in Asheville, North Carolina. Sandra and my daughter Maddie, we all went to back to the mountains in Asheville on July 4th. And Mama Gertie's Hideaway Campground is in Swannanoa, North Carolina, which is near Black Mountain and Marion. And then you got Asheville, so you got lots to do. And we stayed at the very top of this little mountain here in lot number 33. Lot number 33. You can see that picture to the left-hand side of what it looks like. Very beautiful, scenic overlook. Mama Gertie's is also near Black Mountain, North Carolina, where you can park and walk that whole town of Black Mountain. And it's also, this location is where they have the Sourwood Honey Festival. And it's also near Marion, North Carolina, where they have the Bigfoot Festival in September, which is a lot of fun. Now, the recording that you're seeing right now, I actually did with my Garmin 785 GPS for you guys that are maybe looking into a GPS. Now, this is the first time I've ever recorded with one of these, and this seems to be a very good little item right here. I'm still learning about it. I tell you what, it's about 7 inches. I think it's 7 inches across. To me, it's more like a little tablet than a GPS, but this little thing can do a lot of neat things. You can plan a trip. I think with this, at least the 780, or 770, 780. I know it's the one that came before this one. You can actually program, I think, 100 trips into this. But as you can see here, the recording is quite good, and you can do it with audio or without audio. And so I was highly impressed. And so now this here, we have it's a little dash cam. Well, it's a mount that is like a bean bag, and you can lock it with it. That way you can move it around. I didn't attach this to the screen, and so it just seemed to be a distraction to me. And so my wife is always telling me where to go, how fast to do it, and all that mess. And so I just let her be the navigator for us. And so this right here was sitting right in front of her in the passenger side and right on the dash itself. And so again, very highly impressive of what it did. And of course, we're going to be taking a trip to Indiana here in the next several months to have a hydraulic system put in on a electric hydraulic system put on our Class C motorhome. And at first I was going to have Bigfoot leveling systems do it, but I think I'm going to have equalizer leveling systems. If you guys want to check it out, they're about 11 miles from, it's actually Quadrant Manufacturing. They're 11 miles from them, and but equalizer leveling systems, they're a little bit cheaper, and they have an app for a smartphone that you can actually level the motorhome outside using your smartphone. And so I was really highly impressed with that. So I think that's what we're going to go with. And I think with the total cost for a Class C motorhome is going to be about $4,100 for it. In this trip here, we're actually going to go Zen Tubing. We're going to go tubing in Asheville at a place called Zen Tubing. Now, you'd think me living in the South, I would have eventually went tubing at some point in time in my life, but I have never been tubing, and so we decided to do it, and we had an absolute blast doing that. I highly advise you guys to check it out, try it out. Make sure you do wear sunscreen. I got burnt really bad on my left leg. I did use sunscreen, but part of it got washed off, and so I got me a hefty burn on the lower part of my leg. Now, here we're this right here is just before we're coming into Mama Gertie's. What I want you to look at is that sign coming up right there on the right-hand side. I'm going to slow down the film here. See that right there? See that sharp right-hand curve? Now, this right here, please take note of this. This is a really dangerous area. You're going to actually go straight across. You're just going to keep going straight, but this road cuts to the right, and all those trees and bushes are right in the way, and you can't see a vehicle coming up. A vehicle could be flying by, and if you was to go right across without really taking note to turn to the right and look, you may have a really bad accident. This is a really bad curve. This is a really horrible way to actually have an entrance, but right where that van's coming out, that's where we're going in. That's the entrance to Mama Gertie. So please take note of this, because that is a really dangerous curve to go into. Okay, here you have to park right in front of that building there to check in. Once you check in, they actually have somebody that will come and escort you to your spot. This area right here to the right, right there, that door, that is for the laundry and the showers. And so, but they actually have new management here. The previous managers had to leave because of family reasons. But as you can see, the spots here are really level. They're nice. They're tiered. You're not on the same level. No, everybody's not on the same level unless you're at the very top. Very nice spots. Very level. Very well kept. Well taken care of. They're beautiful. You got little areas where you can, if you want a shady spot, you can be near the trees. But these, I'm really impressed on how they keep this place. And I do know that in the winter months, I want to say around November, you might want to check on their website or give them a call. They do shut down. I know at least the top portion of this RV park, because as you're seeing here, this is extremely steep. And if you can imagine ice and snow on this, somebody's going to go sliding down the mountain. And so you're fixing to see us climb up at the very top, and it is extremely steep. Right towards if you keep going straight there, you can see how it starts to incline even steeper than where we just came from. But it is a very, very nice. You're overlooking a valley at the very top. And here you go. You can see just how steep that is. I mean, even in wet weather, you'd have to be careful and really take care on how the speed that you're coming down this hill. But we are really at an incline at this point. And so you definitely want to make sure you got brake fluid in your vehicles. They just recently put that swing there. That wasn't there before. You can see that view. In the fall, this just must be just breathtaking with all the leaves changing. And here we're at the very top. This is as high as it goes. Now these are all the same level. Take a look at that view. Now that patio there, that big deck area, that's something new that they put in. That wasn't there before. Really nice spots. You guys have got to check this out if you've never been here. It's worth the stay. It really is. And up top here, they have another bathhouse. with a laundromat also. And so that's really nice, convenient. All full hookup, water, electric, and sewer. And that's our spot right there. That's number 33. And then they turn around and make sure, see if you need anything else. All right, it is the next morning here, July 4th, and absolutely gorgeous. There's a fog that's in that valley. Just can't quite make it out. But it's coming up on this side. And this is our site right here. It's a really nice site, but there's one problem. People keep walking across our area, right in front here where the picnic table is. One woman walked right by our window. She must have been 2 feet from the window. You could just about hand a cup of sugar out to these people. They're constantly walking in this area. This is one area I would not stay in if I was anybody else. This is the high traffic area. They'll walk right by. One person let their dog use the bathroom and didn't pick up the poop. And so, but other than that, it is a good spot. It's a nice spot. And so, what I want to do is I want to give you the number for those of you that do camp out. It is 33. Is it a nice spot? Absolutely. Is it a high traffic area and you're going to get interrupted constantly with people walking through, walking by? Absolutely. It's crazy. I mean, we were setting up our chairs yesterday evening, and we had about 4 people walk as a big group right in front here, right where the grass is. They walked right through. We were right here, and they walked right through the grass here, just cut through and kept on going. And so, again, a word to the wise, stay away from 33. Well, today we're planning on going to Zen Tubing. Zen Tubing. I have never been tubing before, and so we're going to ride the tubes down this river today. Well, I'm going to go back inside and get me a cup of coffee. The gnats are starting to gather up around me. They're gonna start biting me. Now, before we went to Zen Tubing, we decided to walk out on this deck here, and you're right. I mean, you were actually over the cliff here just a little bit. Really beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. If it wasn't for those darn pesky flies that kept bothering me, that's one reason I just cannot stand camping in the summertime when it's real hot. The flies, gnats, and the mosquitoes just absolutely just bug me. But it was still gorgeous. Absolutely just beautiful out here. Okay, here we're headed down to Zen Tubing, and I decided to film this. That way you can see a little bit more of the area. There's several different roads that you can go down to get to different camping spots, and this isn't all of the campground, but as you can see, my son's kind of driving a little bit too fast through here, but the sights are very nice. And I always love to see the different types of RVs that people have. It's really neat. I mean, the RV industry has really changed a lot in recent years as far as what they put in RVs and stuff, and what they offer and how they build them. And here we're coming out the entrance, and you're going to see that real bad curve again. I wish I would have panned the GoPro around so you could see that, but you can see if you're coming up the other area, you're not going to be able to see a car flying around the other side, and so you really got to use caution there. But Zen Tubing is really not a long drive from here. I don't think it was maybe 15 minutes from this location. I'm just guesstimating. And this day here, it was quite warm. Usually we don't do a lot of camping in the summer, but we had this one already planned out a year in advance. With Mama Gertie's, if you want to get the holidays, or maybe when the leaves are at peak time, you want to go ahead and reserve a year in advance, or some of these honey spots up there are going to already be taken. We actually passed a Toys R Us building, one of the old style Toys R Us. I didn't get it. I thought I had taped it, but I had heard, at least I heard through the grapevine, that they possibly were coming back to business. They were going back in business again, at least going to open up some stores. Okay, here we are at Zen Tubing, and what you do is you just pull in, and they have a line of you check in, somebody comes to your car, and I don't know if I'm assuming they do this all the time. It just seems with this coronavirus, a lot of things have changed, but once you check in, you park your car, they help you park, and then you load on these buses here. You can have somebody hold your keys, and they have somebody, you just give them your name, and they take your keys and hang them up, and then you're taken to another location where these tubes are at, and they actually have tubes that you can put a cooler in, and so you can get those also, and they do allow a paddle. If you want a paddle, I think there's like one paddle per group. And so, but here Maddie and Austin are loading up, and we're on the water here, And I tried over and over and over again to grab these rocks. And even though the water is meandering, as you can see, pretty much what you see, how you see the water here, that's about as rough as you're going to see it. And here I tried over and over again to grab these rocks. And people along the entire time we were on the water, they were on these rocks, standing, having lunch, having a little party. And so, but you're on the water at least about 2 hours. And as you can see, there's some little bird nests. I'm not sure what type of birds they were, but there were birds in those nests up there. We actually saw some up there. And pretty much the speed that you're seeing me floating on the water, that's about as fast as you'll go. And they tell you to bring water. It's highly advisable to bring water. If you don't, people usually get sick when they get off these tubes at the end of it. A lot of people will end up getting sick at the end of it. I just barely got that jet as it was going by.
We are on Zen Tubing right now. We've been riding for, I don't know, maybe an hour now. And they say it's 2.5 hours average time. Whoa, whoa. And it's really good. You can stand up in this water. But Sandra, there's Austin, and there's Maddie and Sandra over there. But this is pretty cool. It just kind of meanders along. As far as rapids or anything, we haven't been across anything much. But they do advise you to bring water. They said that people that don't bring water, some of them will vomit at the end of it. And so my legs don't see a whole lot of sunshine, and so I put some sunscreen on it. But I swear, I hope I still don't get burned, because there is no shade unless you go up underneath this stuff over here. It's really nice though. Whoa! Whoop! Well, I just broke a limb. You see that? I'm headed towards this brush pile right here. I need to get out of it. But it's really neat. You can kind of stop along the way if you want to eat a lunch or something like that. They do allow you to bring a cooler. A nice little home for something.
As you can see, those are some of those people that had gotten on some larger rocks, and there's a larger rock there. But there's some rocks that are put together. You can have a whole crowd, have a whole party on them. But this water, like I said, it's not deep, about waist high in most sections. Some of it is even shorter, even shallower than that. You got to use caution though, because it's extremely rocky, and this sun was beating down on me, and boy did I learn real fast to really be sure you put plenty of sunscreen on, because I got burnt real bad at the end of this day on my left leg. It was very impressive looking. And here's one of the more rougher ones, but like I said, this is about as rough as it gets. And I will say, this is the part I really don't like. It's hard to get out. That water's still continually going. A lot of people's paddles just went right on down the river there, but pretty much you take your stuff and put it back. Now the next morning it was time for us to leave, and we decided to walk out on this deck. It was a gorgeous morning. Felt pretty good outside. Nice little haziness to the mountains there. This deck is a nice place to have a cup of coffee. If it wasn't for all these nagging flies that kept flying around, they were pretty bad this year. But they just added that deck, and it just, like I said, it just overlooks. It just overhangs off that hill there. Really nice. You can get a good bunch of people up there, and it's not designated just to one camping spot. Anybody that's up there can use that, even on the lower levels. Nobody said you couldn't. There weren't any signs or anything, but everybody was leaving, as you can see, and it didn't take long for people to empty out. And here we're actually riding around. If you'll notice the map, this is on the top portion of the campground. And if you, like I said, if you're ever in the area, please feel free to ride up and take a look at these spots here. And so, like I said, it didn't take long for people to exit. And so, but some of these spots here is where we're planning on good camping next time. I like to have a nice little personal little patio area. They do cost more, but I tell you, you've got quite a view. And this little spot down here, around this little bend here, I think that's a spot we're going to try to get. Nice little place tucked away. They really do a good job, as you can see, taking care of the place. It's full hookup, sewer, water, and electricity. And you got a shower house if you want to use it, and a laundromat. And so, but it's very well taken care of. Beautiful area, lots to do around this area, and so I'd highly advise this one.
Okay, we are leaving, and our final thoughts. Now we're actually at spot 35, and we hope to have this here in the future. It is nice, real nice spot, but you got a gorgeous view at this area. But pretty much we were at spot 33. It is a nice spot, but prepare for lots of traffic.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of respect of our personal camp spot. But we had a really good time, good fourth.
Yeah, it's really nice. Hot. Check out Zen Tubing also. Check out Zen Tubing. And but we got a chance to see a monkey also. And so that's something, it's something you normally don't see.
We see an exotic animal while we're camping.
Yeah, and so, but they do claim there are bears in the area. We have not seen one. This is our third time here, and we still haven't seen a bear.
We did hear something the first night, but we think it was a deer.
Yeah, I think it was a buck. Just warning that he was in the area, blowing out his nostrils.
Okay, we're now making our exit off the top of this. And that right there, the first door there you come to, that's the laundromat. And then there's the bathrooms and the showers right there. Now this hill here that we're going down is one you want to use caution, even if it's pretty weather, because you do got gravel and stuff like that on it, so you want to use caution, especially with the heavy vehicle. But just a gorgeous view. I mean, beautiful area. I can only imagine what it looks like in the fall with just think of all those leaves changing colors and stuff. It just must be breathtaking. Now there was a gentleman that had, I think he said he had 3 or 4 monkeys, and I'm about to show you his camping site. If you want to see it, look at the video Unexpected Visitor at our camp. Little short, about a minute and a half video. But I'm going to show you his campsite, and you're going to see a monkey out at his camp. That little area right there, that's a dog play area. You can let your dog loose out there. All right, we're coming around. Now I slowed down the video so you can see it. All right, right there to the right, you see that burgundy looking, brownish colored camper. Now you see that tent, the blue tent. You're going to see a monkey climb up that pole. Right now. He's climbing up that pole right there. You see him? I think that might be Sebastian, but he said he had, I think, 3 or 4 monkeys there. And so, but if you want to see that video, look up that video, Unexpected Visitor at our camp. And like I said, about a minute and a half long, and you get a chance to see him. He actually brought him to our camp and was walking him on the little railing. Again, you get to see the camping spots there. But guys, check this place out. It really is. They got new management. Folks were very friendly, very helpful. The dump station, I believe, is up in that one area there. I think that the propane, if you want to fill your propane too, I think they have a propane place. In here, we're going out the exit / entrance, and there's that horrible turn. Again, you want to check out our other videos. We mostly do our camping, hiking, and backpacking in the winter months. I'm talking in the cooler months, everything from November or October, latter October, all the way through the end of April. Whenever the weather starts to warm up, that's usually our downside, our downtime. Summer is not a time that we usually do any major traveling. It's just too hot. I am not a summer person, but wintertime 2020 is coming up, and we've got a lot of trips planned with the Carolina Thread Trail and all. So you guys be looking forward to it. It's not always just the destination, but the journey in between.